Today, we're diving into a high-stakes battle being fought for the very soul of chess. And this is more than just a game. It's a fascinating story about technology, human psychology, and an escalating war between deception and detection.
And this really is the central question, isn't it? It's a crisis that's haunting the competitive chess world, and it threatens to unravel the entire sport right from the inside out.
So here's how we're going to track this arms race. First, we'll look at the crisis itself. Then, we'll get into the cheaters' evolving weapons. After that, we'll see how experts are hunting them down, explore the psychology behind the scandals, and finally, take a look at what the future of fair play might hold.
All right, let's get right into it. Part 1, a crisis on the 64 squares. So why is this ancient game facing such a uniquely modern, almost existential threat? Well, it's because chess is what's called a game of pure information. Think about it. Unlike, say, poker, there are no hidden cards. Everything is out in the open. And that means, unlike physical sports that are limited by the human body, chess performance can be made artificially perfect by a computer. There's always a best move, and a machine always knows what it is.
And that right there, that gets to the absolute core of the problem. The entire foundation of competitive chess is built on one simple thing: trusting that the mind you're playing against is the only one in the game. The second that trust is checkmated, the whole thing just starts to fall apart.
So how has this threat actually evolved over time? Let's move to Section 2, the cheaters' evolving weapons. And you'll see the methods have become, well, frighteningly sophisticated. You know, back in the day, cheating was kind of clumsy, right? You'd be talking about swapping pieces off the board or getting secret signals from someone in the audience. But now, we've gone from the physical world to the microscopic. Cheaters are using hidden earpieces, tiny devices that signal moves with vibrations, even malicious browser extensions for online play. This is the arsenal they're working with today. And these methods really burst into the public eye during scandals like Toiletgate, where a player was literally caught using a smartphone hidden in a toilet stall during a major tournament. It was a huge wake-up call that the digital age of cheating had officially arrived. So, how in the world do you fight back against that? Well, that brings us to Section 3, hunting for digital ghosts. This is the counteroffensive. And it's this amazing mix of advanced math, computer science, and just some really keen human observation.
The basic idea is pretty simple. If you want to catch a human who's playing like a machine, you need a machine that knows how a human is supposed to play. And the single most powerful weapon in this fight, it's a statistical one.
Okay, so this is really the key to understanding modern cheat detection. It's a concept called Centipawn Loss, or CPL. All it does is measure how much a player's move differs from the perfect move a computer would make. See, humans, even the best grandmasters, we all make little mistakes. Our CPL is always going to be above 0. But if a player consistently scores near 0, game after game, especially under pressure, that is a massive, massive red flag. Nobody plays that perfectly.
But it's not all just about the numbers. Fair play officers are also trained to spot the human tells. For online games, they can use eye tracking to see if a player's constantly looking away at a second screen. And for in-person tournaments, they're watching for strange behaviors, unusual ear touching, or someone who keeps glancing at the same person in the crowd over and over.
Now this is where it gets really clever. The world's top expert, Dr. Regan, his system takes this a step further. It doesn't just look for amazingly good moves. His model of human play actively searches for the absence of human-like mistakes, those tiny, subtle errors that separate our flawed genius from cold, perfect machine logic.
And the power of this approach, it's just staggering. For his system to actually flag a player for cheating, the probability of that performance happening naturally has to be less than 1 in a trillion. Just let that sink in. That's the level of statistical certainty they're working with to hunt these digital ghosts.
Which of course brings us to the human drama behind it all. Section 4, Scandals and Psychology. We've seen how they do it, but who are these players, and why on earth do they risk their entire careers?
You know, this problem isn't new. It's just evolved. From rumors of secret codes back in the 30s to a coach sending SMS signals in 2010,
The scandals have just kept escalating. But it was really the explosive Carlsen-Neiman controversy in 2022 that blew the lid off and forced the entire chess world to face just how deep this problem might actually go.
So what is it? What pushes a player over that edge? What makes them risk their reputation, a lifetime of dedication, and their place in the game they're supposed to love?
Well, the psychology is really complex. It can be this toxic mix of immense pressure to keep a high rating, the lure of big prize money, and sometimes, a bit of a god complex. But the real game changer is just how accessible it is now. Everyone has a superhuman chess engine in their pocket, so it's not always some grand conspiracy. It can be a simple moment of weakness, that paralyzing fear of losing one critical game, paired with that fatal belief that you're smart enough to get away with it.
So, where does this arms race go from here? That brings us to our final section, the future of fair play. And the answer, it seems, is a new kind of hybrid human-AI oversight. The firewall of the future won't just be one single thing. It's going to be built in layers. It starts with combining the sharp intuition of human fair play officers with the relentless precision of that anti-cheat AI. And from there, we might even see things like wearable tech that monitor stress indicators, or using blockchain to create game logs that are completely unalterable and transparent.
But in the end, it all comes down to this. Technology is an incredibly powerful tool. It can be used for deception, and it can be used for detection. It can give you the perfect moves, but it can never, ever provide the spirit of competition, the brilliant mistakes, the human drama, everything that actually makes chess beautiful. And that leaves us with one final, nagging question to think about. In this brave new world, as artificial intelligence becomes this silent, all-knowing referee, who's left to guard the soul of the game?